Hello, I'm Radon and you're watching Gold Guru, ShoddyCast's weekly show on everything Guild Wars 2 trading posts. Major difference between the WoW auction house and the Guild Wars trading post is how much of a cut the auction house, the game, how much of a cut it takes from each thing you sell. Now in World of Warcraft, it was low. It was a 5% cut they would take on anything you sold. So anything you sell, they're taking 5% off the top just before you get mailed the money. Alright, now in Guild Wars, the trading post takes even more than that. It takes triple. It takes 15% off the top of whatever you sell. Alright, now this makes playing the market in Guild Wars 2 a lot more difficult, I think, in high volume trading, because where high volume trading was super profitable in World of Warcraft, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this if you've ever tried to work the auction house on there. Where it was at was the crafting materials, like ores and alchemy ingredients like herbs and stuff like that. Pretty much any crafting material really was the game in the World of Warcraft auction house. Well, here in Guild Wars, I don't think it will be so much, just because of that 15% cut, that triple. It's a lot more they're taking off from each thing you're selling. So what it's appearing like it's going to be, at least in my opinion, I think that we're gonna see that Guild Wars 2 has a lot more a luxury-based market than a commodities-based market, okay? And what that means, commodities, we're talking things like crafting materials, stuff like that did well in WoW, will not do, at least, it could still be done in Guild Wars 2, don't get me wrong. I have made profits off of, copper ore, especially right now, if you're playing copper ore and jute scraps especially, they're just going for so much right now, and you're able to work some numbers there to get a good profit if you know what times to buy and what times to sell. More on that in later videos. But I think that Guild Wars 2 will definitely be more of a luxury market. Luxury, I'm talking stuff like dyes, mini pets, things like that. Now, something to keep in mind, at the time that I'm making this video, like I said, it's pretty much holding the opposite is true right now, at least for the moment, just because there's this massive flux of players right now that are working their way to 80. I'm among them right now. And the crafting market right now is just booming because there's all those people trying to level. But yes, as the game progresses and people are getting to 80 and they're looking for more of those exotic items like the mini pets and exotic gear and dyes, definitely just keep an eye on that luxury market. I think it's very important. Now, the World of Warcraft auction house is on a queue system. The queue system means that if you want to sell your item fast on the auction house in WoW, you undercut people. That's what you do. You undercut their prices. That way you're going to show up, on the first page. And, the years that I was selling on the World of Warcraft auction house, that's what I would do. I'd buy out my competition or I would undercut the lowest current bid on the auction house. If you wanted to sell fast, that's just what you did. The Guild Wars trading post is very different in that it's on what's called a stacked system. And what a stacked system means is that the first person to put an item up at a price that's already existing, it's called matching the lowest seller. By doing that, you are essentially you will be the first person that sells on that stack, on that price. We'll call it a price tier, is what I like to call it. So say there's some sword that's selling for 26 copper. Yeah, pretty cheap sword. Say it's selling for 26 copper, and there's a bunch of other people selling at 26 copper. If you match that price, you will be the first person to sell if somebody would immediately go to buy a sword. Now, if another person lists after you at that 26 copper, they will also sell at that 26 copper. They will sell before you. Now, what this means, I must say I like the trading post a lot better in this, because it discourages anyone from having to undercut somebody on price who's already listed their item. You know, if somebody's already listed an item, there's absolutely no reason to ever have to undercut them. You guys probably already know this, though, is that if you just match the lowest seller to begin with, you'll be the first person. There's no need for undercutting whatsoever. So if you're hearing this, and I know there's people out there that are still, all you're doing is hurting yourself by undercutting other people, at least as the system is in place now. They might change that, I don't know, but as it stands right now, there is just simply no logical reason you would ever want to undercut anyone on price. So stop doing it, you're screwing up my market. Now, the trading post is still in its infancy and everything, so once it matures, we'll obviously see more differences that will surface, but go ahead and leave in the comments what other differences you've seen with the trading post and the auction house, and don't just say the interface. Alright, we all know the Guild Wars 2 trading post has a much superior interface compared with the old 6-year-old World of Warcraft auction house interface. Yeah, I'm talking more on a fundamental level. So yeah, thanks for joining me this week. This has been the ShoddyCast. I've been Radon, and you've been great. The segment coming up will probably be on salvageable bags, the salvage bags. I've been making quite a tidy profit working those on the trading post. It's been really good, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys, my results. So yeah, like this video, and I'll see you next time. Hello, I'm Radon, you are watching the ShoddyCast, and in this video I am putting the Guild Wars auction house, no that's not it, the Guild Wars trading post, and the World of Warcraft, son of a bitch, the World of, son of a, so if you like to suck my, if you like what I'm, if you like what I'm doing here, if you like what I'm doing here, feel free to subscribe and give me cookies.